Diane in Denmark here again in the dungeon in my one of the rooms that we have in our basement, which I use for doing the ironing. Now, I made a video yesterday about ironing and there were tons of questions, so here goes again. I'm going to keep it a short video, but I had a lot of questions about my iron. Now, let me just switch it on and we'll get the steam going. Now, I have what is known as a steam station. It's an iron and it has a built-in reservoir for water. Now, many people thought, oh, you know, it costs like $250. There is no way. I mean, you know me, I'm a canny Scot. I would never buy anything like that. But when I was replacing my iron it's about 6 or 7 years ago, because I actually saw the receipt for it when I was doing some decluttering of papers the other day. I enjoy ironing, but I never found there was like enough oomph in my iron. And you know, I love my gadgets, and whenever I have a birthday or Christmas, my husband always says, you know, he wants to buy me something nice, and I always ask for something householdy. But you know what, that's just me. If you're not into gadgets, that's fine. But I got this one, as I say, about 6 or 7 years ago, and it was about 800 krone, which is expensive, you know, for an iron. That would be about $100, about £80 in the equivalent of money now. But I use mine all the time and I enjoy ironing now, and as you probably saw yesterday, there's a lot of power in it. But a word of warning, you do not need to have a steam station thing like I've got to get your ironing done. If you use your timer, as I said yesterday, just set your timer and say, you know what, I'm going to iron for 5 minutes, and then after that I will stop, and you'll be amazed at how much you can get done. Also, a thing to bear in mind if you're thinking of replacing your iron, the steam stations are great, but they are very heavy. It's not something that you are going to be lifting up and putting in a cupboard and dragging out, because if that was the case for me, I would not be dragging this out of a cupboard. It's just too heavy, and there's no kind of handle on it. But if, like me, you've got a place where you can have it set up in, you know, a laundry room or in your basement or in a guest bedroom, then go ahead if you want to invest in that. But it is an investment. I mean, that is a lot of money for an iron. But you know, on the other hand, I don't buy shoes, I don't buy cigarettes, and I'm not into expensive handbags, but I like my I like my household gadgets. So another thing about laundry that I had questions on yesterday, you will have seen that I hang up my laundry. We don't have a tumble dryer. Down here in our basement we have windows that we can open so the air comes through. Quite often, you know, I just use these clothes airers, and you know, I hang it up one day, iron it the next day. And I think in a way that also cuts down on the amounts of creases that you get in your clothes, because I had a lot of questions saying, I was showing you yesterday, I was ironing some shirts, and the questions was, how come they look so uncreased before you've even ironed them? Well, when I take things out the washing machine, I do a final spin, and I don't know what the power of the spin is, probably like 1,000 or 1,200. But when it comes out, when the washing comes out, I put things on hangers, and some days, you know, I can get them hung outside. I just hang things outside, and it's the same, you know, with my, you know, any kind of shirts. I just put them on hangers and hang them, and that way it eliminates a lot of the creases to begin with. And I've heard from friends of mine who have tumble dryers, sometimes when they tumble dry for a long time, it kind of cooks in the creases, and it's more difficult to get out. So if you're having problems with things creasing, maybe don't use the tumble dryer quite so much, or take it out a bit early and just hang them up. Anyway, if you wanted to see the steam going in, you can hear it. It's hissing. It's a bit like a Harry Potter film, you know, with the snake. There is a lot of power in this, and I don't have any shirts to show you today because I did those yesterday. You know, I do my laundry. I do a LOL, an LOL, a load of laundry every day. But I do have the sheets that I washed yesterday. And this is the duvet cover from our bed. And, you know, maybe you don't iron sheets. I like to iron the duvet cover and the sheet. But just because, you know, that's a thing that I like. If you don't want to do that, you know, go ahead. If you want to iron everything that you have, go ahead. My routine is different from your routine, and we all clean in different ways. There's no right way or wrong way. The main thing is that you do it. You just get it done. Right. And when I hang up my duvet cover to dry, what I do with it is, and I just leave it inside out. You can see the pattern. Open it up like that. There's the pattern of the duvet cover. But when I fold it and iron it and put it away, I leave it inside out. And that way, if you saw me doing change sheets on the weekly home blessing playlist that I've done, quite often I like to have it inside out, and then I kind of crawl into the duvet cover and grab each end of the duvet and pull it through, you know, like you do with single duvets. So that's the way I do it. Anyway, I think my steam iron is ready to go. And you see, and it is very, very hot. So, you know, watch out if you've got any delicate fabrics. Make sure that you put a towel or a thin piece of cotton on top. You see? Oh, you see that? Yeah, okay. And when I say that I iron the sheets, I'm not ironing the whole thing. I just kind of fold it over. You know, I love to cut corners. Because, you know, this is my life. You know, if you're looking at this is just the way that I do it. You just do it any way you like. But you have to be your cheerleader and say, you know what, you can do it. Just, you know, take 5 minutes and do it. And this, what I do with this, once I've finished doing my sheets, this goes underneath our mattress, so that the next time I'm changing sheets, I just lift up the mattress, take out this one, take off the old one, and I'm ready to go. So let me put this to the side, and I'll do a couple of pillowcases. Pillowcases are the same. I don't bother kind of doing them, you know, the whole thing and folding it. I like to have them ironed, but I don't care if there's a crease in the middle. I'm not getting perfectionist about it. And the fitted sheet. And it's the same with the fitted sheets. I'm not really too perfectionist about how I fold them. What I normally do is just take, so you've got the corners here, and then I take the corresponding other corners, stick that one in. And listen, if you want to go and have a look on YouTube about how to perfectly fold a fitted sheet, that's up to you, but this works for me. There we are. So it kind of makes a rectangle. Tuck that in. Little package. There. And that goes underneath the other one, and it all flattens out. And I have like 2 sets of sheets underneath our mattress. And by the time I come to take it and use it again, it actually looks quite flat. So, anyway, I've been talking for 9.5 minutes. Yeah, enjoy your... oh, excuse me, frog in my throat today. Enjoy your LOL, your load of laundry today. And see you very soon. Right, me, Diane in Denmark, signing off. Live long and prosper.